Okay everybody, welcome back. So today I'm going to go over how you can turn any VST or any sound into a DirectWave instrument. Now really quickly, you might be wondering why you'd want to do this. Well, I mean, if you've clicked on this video you've probably got a reason, but there are some use cases for this. If you are using a VST and going to send an FLP to someone, that person might not have that VST and then the sounds won't load. So if you're using third-party VSTs and sending FLPs out, then everybody that opens that FLP has to have the exact same VST and presets and stuff that you used, which can be a bit of a hassle because that's not realistic. So if you want to send the exact same sounds out to anybody and make it so that anybody can open the project and use the exact same sounds and edit them like they were using the VST in the first place, this is how you would do that. So I've got this nice little arpeggiated melody going. This is using Expand 2, so not everybody's going to have Expand 2. Maybe the presets might be wrong as well. Maybe they've got Expand 2 but they don't have this exact preset. So if I was going to send this out and the person that opens it up doesn't have these sounds, they're not going to be able to hear anything. So to make sure that they're able to hear the sounds and then edit them like it was a normal VST, I'm going to come here, I'm going to right click and go create DirectWave instrument. Now a dialog box is going to pop up. You're just going to save that wherever your image line folder is, and it'll go in your DirectWave folder, and then this will pop up. So there's a couple of options here. What you're going to want to look out for is your estimated maximum size. So this is your RAM, I'm pretty sure. If you've got a lot of RAM, don't worry about this, but if your computer struggles with some VSTs, make sure to keep an eye on this and don't let it get too big. But I'll go through all of these now. We've got low note, so this is where the sampling will start. So I've had it on C4. Any note below C4 would just be silence. So that's up to you depending on how many notes you're going to use, how low it's going to go. For a bass, you'd probably want a very low thing, but not too high. That'll just save estimated size. So for a bass, you might want it to stop at C6, conservative number. Could be C4 even. But for this piano, and just for the sake of this demonstration, I'll add the whole thing. This keys per zone is pretty much how many direct samples it'll take. So it'll take all of the blue ones. What that means is it'll take these blue notes and then pitch them up to reach C sharp 2, D2, D sharp 2, and then it'll start again on E. So you can do all of them. Again, that maximum size is going to hop right up, but you can spread it out far. I wouldn't suggest doing that. I'd suggest keeping it 4 or 2, but of course you can experiment around with that. Now velocity layers is for changing the velocity of the actual notes. Now you can turn that up to 100 and that maximum size is going to jump right up. We could turn it down to 1 if you don't want to change the velocity at all. But I think 20 is an alright number for a piano. Again, experiment around with this one, but for a bass, you're probably not going to want too many. But for a more melodic instrument, you might want some more depth with that. And then max velocity, you can change that up or down. I'll just keep that at 127. You can offset the root note if you've got more keys per zone. You can switch that up and down, depending if you want to get an exact sample of C or an exact sample of C sharp. That's just what that's there for. But if you're getting 1 key per zone, then you don't need to change that, and you actually can't. You can also sample multiple times, so that's the cycle layers. You can do that up to 8 times. So I guess that'll just put all of those together and get the most accurate sound. So that's just for accuracy really. I'll keep that at 1. I'm not too fussed about that one because I'm already on 1 key per zone. That's going to be fairly accurate, I guess. So you can also change whether the sound stops on silence or the max length. So if you wanted your sound to only play for 1 beat, then you'd switch this to max length and then max length 1 beat. This would just cut it off after 1 beat, but it's probably best to keep it on silence unless you know you've got a really long sound that you just don't want to play for too long, and you can just make that like 4 bars instead of silence. But I'll just keep that on silence for now. The quality resampling, I like to keep it at 64 point sync. And then bit depth can be 16 or 32. I like to keep it on 32 because, again, it'll take up more space and stuff, but it is what it is. If you've got not such a great computer, you can change these, but of course you will sacrifice quality. Then stereo, mono, merged left or right. Keep it on stereo unless you've got like a bass that's only in mono. Most of these should be just left how they are. Declick in, declick out. Those are pretty important. Normalize, yeah, you can do that if you want. I wouldn't enable looping. That's a bit annoying, and you can probably do that in other places if you really need that. But if you know what you're doing with looping and you really need a certain sound to play for ages, that's fine. And then miscellaneous, enable master effects, enable insert effects. So if you've got effects on your mixer track or master track, you can enable those effects. Probably wouldn't do that because I just want the raw sound, but you can do that if you want. Keep monolithic file on, and then open in DirectWave will pop up once you hit start and it finishes. So I'll hit start now. I'm pretty happy with all these settings. Okay, so it crashed. I think I tried to render too much. That's fine. I re-rendered it and changed, like, I'm only doing from C4 to C7, I think, C8, yeah. And I think I turned it to 32-bit sync or something. But it's fine now. I'll copy this over and I'll just A/B these two and show you the quality difference that there is, because it's very minimal. So I'll play the first one. And then the second one. So you can see there very, very little difference, and it sounds exactly the same. And what I can do, I can even switch up the pattern. And it sounds exactly the same once again. I was actually wrong about the silence part. I can go below C4 where I selected, but I think that's where it stops recording, so it's now just pitching it down according to where it will be on the piano roll. So you're just going to get a less accurate sound. But it still works. So overall, if you want to export VST sounds without using the VST, DirectWave is the way to go. So I could just delete that entirely and save this, and anyone in the world would be able to open it if they've got FL Studio. So that's about it. Thanks for watching, hope you enjoyed. Make sure to like, subscribe, and I'll catch you later.